Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to do this golden glowy look today. Are you ready to get ready with me? Let's go. First, I'm using my Tula Rose Glow and Get It Eye Balm. It's cooling, refreshing, depuffing, and moisturizing. I just love it. It's a definite staple. I'm just patting it in, although it really goes right in, but I just pat it in anyway. Next is my Becca Under Eye Corrector in light medium. It's just a really amazing corrector. As you can see, it just immediately cancels out any dark tones and it keeps your eyes nice and moisturized all day long. I love it. It's amazing. I had forgot to put on my primer before my corrector, but that's okay. So now I'm putting on my Becca Backlight Priming Filter. It's a very glowy base under your foundation, and it's just really nice. It has smoothing properties and, of course, the glowy ones and all that good stuff. Next is my foundation. This is the Estee Lauder Hydra Rescue Moisturizing Foundation. I love it. It's really pretty. It's smoothing. It's moisturizing. It's not drying at all. It's just a really great overall foundation, and it's got really good coverage too, as you can see. Me blending it out with my damp beauty blender, which is my preferred method of putting on liquid foundation. It sinks right in the skin, and I just love it. Okay, next is my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I'm gonna put it under my eyes and any place that I just need a little more coverage and highlight. In the middle of my forehead, around my nose and mouth and laugh lines and chin. And then I'm gonna blend it in with my beauty blender. Okay, next is my Shape Tape Glow Wand, and it's another staple. I love it. It's a liquid highlighter, but it's natural and it's moisturizing, which is perfect for another addition of moisture under the eyes especially. And I'm just blending that in with my beauty blender also until it's just all nice and perfect. Okay, next I'm going to set under my eyes with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. It's very finely milled and brightening, and it's just a perfect under eye and on top of my eyelids too. Setting powder. Then after that, I do set the rest of my face with the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder. Now right here, I'm putting it on with my beauty blender, and then a little bit after I do take my powder brush, especially like under the cheekbones and stuff where I'm going to put my bronzer to make sure it's nice and powdered and smooth and not tacky at all from the foundation. Okay, next is bronzer. I'm going to be using my Lime Life by Alcone little palette here, and this is a nice glowy bronzer. It's very pigmented though. You have to be careful not to put too much on your brush at one time. So for quick application it's great because you don't have to put too many layers at all, since it's got that really nice rich pigment to it. And I'm just going all around. I'm kind of contouring and bronzing at the same time, as you can see. Okay, next is blush, my favorite. I love blush so much. This is my Buxom Wanderlust primer infused blush in Mykonos. It's such a cute little coral, bright coral pop of color, and I like a lot of blush, so I put a lot on the apples of my cheeks, and then I go around and hit the top of my nose and my forehead and my chin. Okay, next is finishing powder, and the center color there in my Too Faced Born This Way Turn Up the Light palette is just an ethereal, very pretty, natural, glowy finishing powder. It just blends everything in really pretty, so there's no harsh lines anywhere, and just starts to give us that glow we want. Okay, next is highlight. I'm going to take the two end shades and mix them and highlight the high points of my face, above my cheekbones, my cheeks, my forehead and brow bone and nose, and Cupid's bow and chin. Now I'm going to use the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette, and I'm going to take Sweet and Swarm and mix those two colors and just start to put them in and above my crease. And I'm just going to work a little at a time till I get the desired pigment that I want. And I'm actually using the brush that came with this palette, which you rarely like the brushes that come with palettes, but this one's really nice and it just works with the formula really well, so I love it. One end is fluffy and the other end's a little skinnier and more dense. And see how I'm kind of winging out that eyeshadow a little on the ends? So now I'm going to take those same two shades and put some on my lower lash line, or below it, for that soft blown out kind of look. And then now I'm going to take Hive and Drip, which is just a little deeper, and I'm going to put a little more. I'm just building the colors under my eyes, and then now I'm going to go more right in my crease and just keep building it till I have it the way I want it. And I just wanted to add in that I did do my brows before I started my eyeshadow. Okay, now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to put golden on my eyelids, and I'm just going to keep putting a little until I have the amount that I'd like. And then I'm going to take, I'm going to put the leftover on my finger under my eyes a little bit. Then I'm going to take the color Honey on my finger, which is a little lighter and brighter, and just Putting a little bit on top to make it really pop. And then I'm going to take Flyby, which is the lightest color, and highlight the inner corners of my eye. And when you do it with your finger for these, it gives a little more intense color payoff. And then I'm gonna take that same Flyby shade and put a little under my eyebrows, just to highlight a little bit under there. Okay, now I'm gonna take the smaller end of the brush and put Sting, which is the deepest of the shades, on my top lash line, just the outer half, and just winging it out a little bit. Now you could do this with a skinnier eyeliner brush, but I just like it a little bit thicker of a line and not super defined with this eyeshadow look. And I just kind of shape it and build it a little at a time. And then I'm going to take the same shade Sting and put a little on that outer third of my under eye, right at the lash line, and give it that nice definition. Okay, I'm gonna take that color Sting again, and with the small end of my brush, just barely stipple it in that very outer corner of my crease, just to really give it some good little definition. And then I'm taking the fatter end and just blending it a tiny bit. Okay, next I'm gonna set my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. I know you cannot make yourself look glamorous doing this part, but now onto mascara. I'm using my IT Superhero mascara. It's just a great volumizing, thickening, and lengthening. I find it does all of the things. It's a all-around really great mascara. Now I'm gonna take my Bare Minerals Freestyle lip liner, and I do not go all the way to the edges. I do more of the middle and then just kind of come out a little bit, and then I'll blend it in with my fingers a little bit. And then I'm going to use my MAC Honey Love for my first layer of lips here. Just putting that all over. And then I'm gonna lighten it up with a MAC. It's a limited edition, so you can't get it, but just any lighter shade you have, just to make that middle pop a little bit, that will work, and just make your lips appear fuller. And then for the last step, I take my Marc Jacobs lip gloss in Sugar Sugar to finish things off, and I kind of keep that more towards the center and come out a little, but not to those very ends. First, I'm going to put in Redken Pillow Proof Blow Dry Express Treatment Primer. Just going to distribute it evenly through my hair, a little at a time. It's going to protect it, make it feel good, and it does speed up your blow drying time. Okay, next I'm going to put in some Pureology On the Rise Root Lifting Mousse. I'm just going to spray it in my hand instead of directly into the roots. That way you don't get too much, and you can evenly distribute it like I'm doing here, all throughout my roots a little at a time. And I don't bring it all the way through to the ends, just a little bit through the mid shaft. Okay, next we're gonna blow dry. I'm gonna use my Dry Bar Buttercup dryer. If you're in the market for a new one, this is a really great one. I've really enjoyed it the last few months. It's really great quality. It gets the job done really easily. And I'm gonna dry it about 3/4 of the way dry. Okay, next I'm going to take a large round brush and start round brushing to get all that nice volume we want everywhere. Just make sure that you're putting your round brush in at the top of each section so that you get as much volume out of it as you can. And guys, this is actually a Revlon round brush I got at Walgreens on vacation because I had forgotten mine at home. And to my surprise, it has been one of my favorite round brushes. It's just really lightweight and it does a phenomenal job. That's all I need. Okay, on to our next section. Just keep making sure that you put that round brush right at the top of the section, giving it all the volume you possibly can, and then just pull down. And make sure whatever blow dryer you're using to have that concentrator on the end of it, it's there to protect your hair. That way you can put it right up against the round brush, because if you don't have it on there and you put the blow dryer on there without it, you really can damage your hair. And even in those back sections, still make sure you get that brush right up under the top of that section, pulling upwards. That way you maintain the volume. Okay, now we're going to do our last sections here, and make sure that you're really coming, straight up off of your head to keep that volume going. And the reason why you want to prepare your hair with a good blowout before curling it is because it's just going to give that longevity and the volume that you want. It's going to last for however many days you want it to until you wash it again. It really does make a difference than if you, let's say, washed your hair the night before and slept on wet hair and then go to curl your hair. You are not going to get the same, look or effect or lasting power. Okay, on these other top sections, just go straight up from the head like I'm doing here, and just keep on doing the same thing till you get through all those last sections. And I know it seems like a lot of work to do your hair this way, but I promise it is worth the effort to get the end result you want. Because if you want that really great salon blown out look, you have to do it like we do it. There's really not too many shortcuts, I promise. I mean, you can make your hair look good without it, but to get it, you know, to look and to stay like it does from the salon, then you gotta put in the hard work. All right, we are on our last section here. And you do have to take, you know, each section usually more than one time in order to get it all the way dry, because you do want it 100% dry before curling. You can't cheat with any damp spots, all right? You have to get it all dry. So just be patient. Okay, now I'm going to take my Amika flat iron and just go through and make the ends a little more sleek, because for a beachy look you want to not bring your curling iron all the way through the ends, so you need to smooth them nicely with the flat iron first for this look. And I think this is probably something a lot of people don't know, but it's really how to get the look, you know, achieve the look the best, I think. So just keep going through until all your ends are nice and smooth. I'm starting off by sectioning off my hair, starting at the top. Okay, now I'm going to take my 1-inch curling iron and start curling. I like to leave out that little front piece and just leave it straight. I just like it that way with my bob haircut for just a little bit cooler look. Okay, I'm going to curl away from my face, and I'm going to make sure that I leave my curling iron in long enough at the very root. That way you keep that nice volume going that you created with your round brush blowout. Okay, on to the other side, still curling away from the face, and you can see when I release the curling iron, I'll kind of pull on the end of my hair just a tad bit. Now, since my hair is shorter, especially in the back under there, it's hard to really leave out an end, so I just quickly, you know, curl it. I don't leave it in very long at all, so it doesn't get too curly under there. Well, it's really too short to get too curly anyway. Okay, time for our next section. We're still going to start by curling away from the face. I actually wound up recurling that piece in a second. I didn't leave it in long enough. See, even I make mistakes sometimes and have to go back because I didn't leave it in at the root long enough. Because sometimes those pieces right next to our face, they curl quicker because the hair is just generally finer around the face. but I had to redo it. Get a little bit better curl in there. There we go. And then this third piece, I change directions and go towards the face. You don't have to do that, but sometimes I like to do a few turn the opposite way, just because it keeps the curls from like interlocking together, you know, during the day. It just kind of helps keep them nice and tousled and a little bit separated. And just keep on curling. Okay, on to the other side. I'm gonna do the same thing. And guys, if you ever have any questions for me and you need help with something, just DM me or leave a comment. I'll be glad to answer your questions and help in any way I can. All right, the reason I'm showing the, you know, me curling even the back too is because I feel like some people need to see all of it, you know, the whole process, because maybe there's just something they're missing and that's what's, you know, holding them back from getting the look they want. So I know it gets a little long and monotonous. Those of you who don't need it, you can just go ahead and fast forward through. And if there's any future videos y'all want me to do on a particular hairstyle, just let me know and I will be glad to do it for you guys. All right, whew, looked like I needed a breath there. Okay, on to our last section here. We're gonna take down and get curling. All right, guys, it's really important to keep that volume going, so we really want to make sure that when we are curling, that we keep the curling iron in there long enough right at the roots. I know I keep saying this over and over, but it's just really important. I think that it's a common mistake people make, that it's like they want to get to the middle and the ends, you know, quick or something, and they just don't leave the curling iron in long enough at the roots to keep that nice volume and just the beginning of your curl or wave. And see how I just kind of tug on the curl a little bit, not much. You don't want to do it, you know, really hard or a long time. You don't want to take too much of the curl out, but I just do that to reinforce our little beachy look we want. Okay, now this one I'm gonna alternate and curl towards the face. I know it might seem a little awkward when you know, are doing it, but you'll get the hang of it. I have faith in you. I promise anyone can curl their hair. I know a lot of people get so discouraged and are like, I can't curl my hair or it never stays. Well, that's why I'm here to hopefully teach you how to do these things, that you just have to know what to do and take the steps and the time. I think a lot of people are just in such a hurry, and I get it. Life is crazy and all that good stuff, but sometimes if you really want to, you know, a nice look, you do have to take the time and effort to get the end result that you want. I mean, come on, why do you think people say, oh my gosh, my hair never looks the same after I leave the hairstylist? Well, you gotta take all the same steps they take in order to achieve those nice looks, that salon look. But I promise, you can do it. Okay, on this side, I'm kind of making 2 rows really out of it. I'm not putting the clip back in, so I'm kind of taking the underneath one like I'm doing here, and then, you know, I'll move to the top after that. Okay, and on those very top sections, you want to go straight up from your head to get as much volume as you possibly can up there. And just keep on curling. Now I know some of you might think, oh my gosh, this is just too much work to do, but you get what you get what you put into it. So if you do take the time and the effort to take all the steps that I'm trying to teach you to achieve the end result you want, I promise it'll be worth it. And then, hey, I figure you'll work hard for an hour, let's say, to do everything. However, it depends, of course, on the amount of hair you have, how long, thick, all of that. But guess what? Then it's going to stay for, 2 or 3 days for you. Now, some people that don't wash their hair, more than once a week, it's going to stay that long. Now, you may have to touch up some pieces from, when you sleep and things like that. You might get a piece that got just kind of crunched or a little bit uncurled. And I'll show you those things too. Maybe, 2 or 3 day old hair, how to revive and make look fresh again. Okay, I'm going to curl my last 2 pieces forward. You can curl yours away. I don't know, I've been into curling them forward lately, so you can just do whatever you would like. It's fun to try different things sometimes in different directions. It'll just give it a little bit different look, so. All right, we are almost finished here. Yay! And like I said before, in the front, usually, that hair is finer. You don't have to keep the curling iron in as long. I'm just recurling a little bit, that little piece up there. All right, we are done. Woohoo! Okay, now I'm going to take some dry shampoo and spray that all in my roots really good. And if you're thinking, why are you doing this? You have clean hair. It's just gonna give you some extra volume, and then when your oils do start coming in, the dry shampoo is already there to soak up any oils and just help it stay fresh. Okay, now I'm gonna just massage in all that dry shampoo and just keep massaging my roots until it's all worked in. Just keep shaking it at the root and bringing your hands through, separating, tousling to get that nice beachy look. Okay, now for some hold, I'm going to use the Kenra Dry Volume Burst. 9 times the volume. It's number 3. And I'm just going to keep spraying and lifting and separating. Don't be afraid to move it around. You're not going to hurt it. And we are all done. All right, I hope you enjoyed this Beachy Curls tutorial. If you have any questions, just put them down below. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.